Good evening, everybody. Well, my green tea, a little bit of hydration. I'm going to eat something in a little bit, but I wanted to go ahead and let you know exactly what I'm up to. So, right here, I have my habanero plants. Well, not that one. That was supposed to be a tomato plant, but it didn't quite work out. It was a clipping. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the foliage of it and go ahead and compost it down. And then I'm going to use the soil that's in there. You see that? See all that soil? I'm going to take that soil and I'm going to go ahead and recycle it up again. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in a moment. But in the meantime, I want to show you a trick I learned from a fellow YouTube gardener by the name of Callie Kim 69. Callie Kim is amazing. And little small confession, when I first stumbled across her channel, I got kind of a little crush on her. And then I realized she was married, and I rapidly pulled back. However, she is a plethora of information, and she has really aided in my gardening ventures here. So, what I learned from her was how to overwinter your pepper plants, and this is a habanero plant, and that's a habanero plant. And I'm going to show you exactly a finished product of what I've done, and it's this one right here. Please forgive the mess. I am currently putting in the fall garden, and I wanted to show you. I mentioned in a previous video, it's been some time since I've posted. You know, there's been a few life challenges that have come across my path, and I have had to tackle them. So my apologies for such a long duration between videos. So I promised that I would go ahead and put a fence up, or at least a fencing around a particular garden bed, and I want to show you it. This one right here, again, forgive the mess. I'm doing a lot of work in this garden, and this is it, and I put a fence up right here. Oh, hello, one of the kittens. Don't know why it's running away. This one always lets me pick it up. That's the second generation. I've not named them, just to play it safe. So, guys, here is the garden bed, right here. And not this, I do not know the species of this plant, but these pop up everywhere. But these are garden beans right here, and as you can see, right there. And I had this garden bed covered up with cardboard right there, as you can see. Fresh soils underneath it. No weeds have grown out of this because I've kept it covered all summer long. And some of the previous videos you would notice that. And the weeds are on the side, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up here shortly. But I wanted to show you that I did put up a very cheap makeshift MacGyver-like fence, and I'm about to go ahead and improve that better. But I wanted to show you that, and I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these beans and potentially eat them tonight. I've yet to really water this plant, this bean plant. This bean plant has been producing beans all summer long. I think I've watered it maybe 3 months ago, and I've left it alone, and it's just been continually growing and producing beans. There are a whole bunch of them in there. My goodness, look at that. Look at all those beans. See that? I don't think I've eaten enough of these. And I did mention before that it's best to really grow beans for multiple reasons. One, they help provide nitrogen in the soil, but they're fantastic to snack on. So if you're gardening, grow some beans, because they are sweet, they're delicious, and they sate your appetite. So I wanted to show you that. And it's really cheap, but I told you I was going to put up a fence. I didn't care how cheap looking it was. Hey, look at these. Aren't those lovely? I planted those inside a tire. I'm learning to upcycle. Anyways, back to the peppers. Alright, so we're going to get to these pepper plants. Here we are, some pepper plants. First, I wanted to show you exactly, again, because I love showing this off. I'm very redundant in this because I can't get enough of it. But, look at this little one. Look at her. See that? This is not Harmony. This is her sister. Yeah, second generation. She's very friendly too. Look at her, she lets me pet her. But I'm gonna have to move her here in a moment. Put a little blanket in there so that she thinks I'm giving her food. These cats, man, I swear to God, it's like gremlins that just continually eat. So let me move this out of the way, move her aside. Fantastic, and there it is. See, you're off to the side now. And the bin that she's sitting on, that's another bin full of processed soil that I processed. I sifted it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you something I did. I love showing it off. I can't get enough of this. This is fantastic. And I've been donating some of this to a school teacher, and because she has a gardening project she's been doing with her students, and they're little pea pods, they're roughly in primary school, but she has these garden beds, and I've been helping her out a little bit because, as we all know, garden soil from the nursery is extremely expensive. So, and then I also have this one, this right here. Look at that. I think I might sift this a little bit more, but this is all ready to plant. And again, I'm going to put some perlite. There is a little bit of perlite in that, and I'm going to order some more vermiculite and get some of that in there too. But let's get to those pepper plants. Fantastic. So what I did was, this is a habanero plant, and in my previous videos, if any of you have watched them, and I hope you have, I had, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habanero plants, and they produced habanero peppers all throughout summer. I was just completely ecstatic. I shared some with some of my co-workers at work, and gave some away to my neighbors because I just had so many of them. And of course I used them to cook food, to cook my meals with and whatnot. And they're hot. And these were really nice. They were bright orange. Again, look at my previous videos. And definitely, before we continue on, make sure you hit the like button on this. And if you have any comments, it'd be most beneficial for you to comment, some constructive criticism if you would, and continuing on. So what I did is I went ahead and I trimmed down to these right here, and I'm going to try to paraphrase exactly what I learned from Callie Kim. Little promotion for Callie Kim, because I love her channel, as well as a few other gardening channels I watch continuously. And I will go ahead and put her link in the description below, so that way you can go ahead and take a look at her channel. She is just full of information that would definitely benefit any gardener. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and trim off all these dead leaves. I'm going to remove some of the mulch at the bottom right here, all that. And I'm going to take out a little bit of the soil, maybe just about 1 centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters of soil. And again, I'm going to go ahead and recycle that soil and add some, and then after I do that, I'm going to make sure that I add fresh soil right there. Hello. Some fresh soil. And I'm going to add some fish fertilizer in that too. So what I'm going to do is take these and I'm going to place them in the garage, or actually I think I'll place them in the grow room. And that way they'll stay nice and safe in the grow room. I'll leave them outside for the time being because I am here in Texas, here, Fort Worth, USA. And the weather here has maintained a steady, easily 80 degrees, if not a little bit warmer. But at night it's gotten a little chilly, so that really is a beneficial thing, considering mosquitoes love to nibble on you. So let's go ahead and do this. So this is what the finished product looks like right there, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Let me grab my shears here. Talk about not being organized. This is ridiculous. Here we go. Got them like that. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give these a little rinse inside some water in the sink that I have set up, and that water has about about 4.5 tablespoons of bleach, and that will help disinfect them, because I don't want any bacteria to be on these blades, and I don't want it to get into my habanero plants. So let's go disinfect these really quick. Alright, a little bit of disinfection right here. Got my sink right there. And I'll just give them a little rinse. A little tiny rinse, and this will help disinfect them. Take off any bacteria that I don't want on there, because these were used on the tomato plants, and I had to be careful with that because I don't want to spread any disease on that. So let's give these a rinse off. A little bit of soap in there as well, and then let's go trim down those habanero branches. All right, some habanero branching trimming time. Let's do this really quick, and back at it. Okay. And so now I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed. Now, if I remember correctly, she said what you want to do is you want to do a kind of an aggressive pruning. A lot of these can be pruned down. The branches that meet at a V, if I remember correctly, and Callie, Miss Kim, please correct me. I hope you do correct me. But right here, I want to go ahead and give these a trim. So I'm going to go ahead and clip off this one, like so. And then, of course, the ones at the very bottom, I'm going to go ahead and trim off too. Little tiny leaves at the bottom, like this one over here. If you see that, you trim those down as well. And then basically, right here as well, Let's give this one, oops, sorry about that, nice camera work. I am doing this one-handed right here. And then I'm going to trim off this one. And this looks really aggressive, guys. It really does. But basically, from what I've learned, this will go ahead and conserve the energy, especially after I take off some of this, take off all this mulch and take off some of the topsoil a little bit. Excuse me, the soil right there. And then I am going to trim off this one. Let's get this one off. Where am I at here? What's going on? Am I in frame? I'm in frame. Okay, so going back and forth. I'm looking back and forth. I think I'm going to get rid of that one too. And again, I've got so many habanero plants. I can afford. This one was my favorite one. This one produced so many habaneros, and I love spicy food. I really do. And I want to learn to make a proper curry because I like curry. Curry's delicious. And let's get rid of this one. Boom, boom, like that. I know this is kind of hurting me a little bit because I get nervous doing this, but this will help conserve the energy of the plant. And of course we're going to give it nutrients so it has something to feed on during the winter, and that will last all fall, all winter. Boom. Let's get rid of, I think I'll get rid of this one right here too, that one. And again, forgive the camera work, guys. I'm trying to make sure I keep things in camera using my phone. Hey, I didn't tell everybody, I got a new phone. The last one I was using had a cracked screen, and I finally got a new one. I will not tell you what model it is because it's not really that great to ravel. So here we go. Let's get this one off. Boom. And then I'm going to get this one as well. And I'll go ahead and trim off that one right there too. Boom, right off the top. Because as you see, this is all dead, and all this can come off. Right there. Let's get rid of this. Right here as well. That one's off. And I'll get rid of that one right there. Right at the V. Am I doing this right, Callie? Miss Kim? Getting this all cleaned off. Come on, get it down there. There we go. And again, I'm going to go ahead and compost all these bits and bobs here, right here. These little pieces. Done. And let's go ahead. And I think I'll take off that one as well. So let's get this right here too. Again, I'm doing this one-handed. Okay. So I'm going to clean this off. And then we're going to go ahead and take off some of the mulch right here and the soil. And I'm going to see if the ball in there is healthy. And I believe it is. I really do. Because I'm going to also pan over to a couple of more of the habanero plants that are still producing, believe it or not. So let me get this done. There we go. This is before I took off the mulch. But this is what it looks like, basically, just like the one you saw before. Right there. And this one. And now we got this all cleaned off. And I got my trusty pan here where I'm putting all my debris. I hope you can hear me, all my debris. There we go. If I pull away too far away from my phone, my voice has a tendency to sound very distant and extremely low. So if I have a tendency to all of a sudden increase the volume of my voice, it's only to make sure that all of you lovely gardeners out there can hear me. So let's get rid of some of this. And right in there. Whoops. God, I'm terrible at this camera. One-handed is not cool. Really cannot wait until I get a proper camera so I can do this. And also, because the intention is to get myself a GoPro. And I think if I do my budgeting properly and everything works out financially, I can go ahead and grab a GoPro. And I want to attach it to my head. And that way I can just be hands-free and have all my increments working whilst I do these videos. So let me go ahead and get this done. Okay, so I'm going to take off some of this. And let me put my finger, it's really dry. So what I'm going to probably do right now is I'm going to get the watering can here. And I'm going to give this a little watering before I go ahead and continue. Let's pull that. What is that? I have no idea what that is. Let's get that watering can. Alright, some watering can. Let's go to the spigot. Let's go get some water. I'm going to place you right there then. Let's go do this. Over here. Turn you on. Continue on right here. Alright. Let's adjust this. Hey, I love this hose. I don't know if in my previous videos you saw that old dilapidated hose I had. It was nasty. It did not do the job properly. Oh, there we go. Throw that up real quick. not going to fill this up entirely, but just enough. And let's do that. And let's turn off that faucet. Alright, that done and out of the way. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to give this a little bit of water just to go ahead and loosen up the soil a little bit. So that way when I put some fresh, healthy soil down in there, it will reach the roots. I wonder if I can get a little bit more off of that, but let's go ahead and water it. And I'm glad I started this video now because it's getting rather late and fall is upon us and the sun is going down a lot earlier now, much earlier. And what are you curious about? I think that's Harmony. I'm sure it is. Harmony! Hey! Thirsty, are you? It's gonna get me. It's going to get me. Alright, hold on. Look at that. So, got that water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit for a good 5 minutes or so. So whilst that's sitting, I will go ahead and grab a container or a little tiny bin. And I'm going to use some of my fresh compost / homemade soil. We're going to add some vermiculite, because I did order some vermiculite off of Amazon.com. And we're going to give it some fertilizer, that fish fertilizer. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Hey, remember this? Right here, all natural fertilizer. So let's take a look at the directions on the back, because one of the things you always want to do is you really want to follow the directions accordingly until you get until you're really seasoned at knowing how to put the proper amount in with your soil. And as you can see, the application rates says right there for 1 pound, 2.5 cups, half a cup for 3.2 ounces, and so forth and so on. Just always follow the directions. It will really benefit you. You won't make any mistakes. So I'm guessing in that pot over there, right there, I believe that might be a little bit more than 2 pounds. I'm sure that's easily 5 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and put in, just about 3 cups of it. And I think that's safe to do, that vegetable gardening. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. Let's find a container. No, I've got one around here somewhere. Where? Oh, there. Look at that. Boom. I'm going to give it a rinsing because it looks rather grimy in there. Look at that. Ugh, that looks nasty. So I'm going to give this a washing really quick. And I've got my pitcher there. So what I think I'll do is put in 2 liters of soil. Probably just 1 liter. Because I am going to remove some of that soil in that pot. So let's do that really quick. Hold on. Hello. What's going on with you? What are you doing, huh? That's Harmony. Sun is rapidly going to bed, and so let's move along with this. So let me grab my little hand spade there. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit. I think I need to add a little bit more water. Now I don't want to go too deep with this spade. See that tip right there? I don't want to go too deep because I don't want to damage and upset and traumatize the roots. So I got to be careful because I'm not sure exactly how shallow they may be. So let's give this a little bit more watering because it's rather dense. Ah! Oh! I'm all out. Let's go get some more. Hold on. Okay, so what I did is I cleaned that out. Look at that. All cleaned out. Almost forgot where I left off at. Cleaned out. See? That looks a lot better. The picture's clean. And so let's go over here with the spade and grab some of this. Because what we're going to do, actually, I'm going to move that over there first. And we're going to take this. I'm going to throw some soil into it. Look at that. I mean, come on. I mean, that's lovely. If there was a form of smell-o-vision, Elon Musk creates smell-o-vision. Yeah, I like Elon Musk. But let's put this in here carefully, because I do not want to waste. Although I've got a lot of this. I got a lot. And there's more to come, because I have a pile over there that I went ahead and sifted through before adding fresh material into the compost. And I think you saw that in the last video. And the temperature and everything. I just spilled some of that. Oh well. But let's add some in. And I think that's about 1 pound. I need to get a scale. Amazon, here I come. Guys, get Amazon Prime. It'll save you on so much shipping and handling. A little plug for Amazon. They're not sponsoring me. At least not yet. Here we are. Grabbing some of this. And this is in powder form. So, and I'm going to also feed some of this to the plant still producing habaneros. So I'm going to reach in just straight with my hand and kind of palm it here because, again, I'm doing this with one hand and I'm trying to race the sun. So we're going to throw some of that in. That's about half a cup. And we got a cup in there. So I think that's enough. I set 3 cups because I was going to add it to the pot. But I'm mixing this in here instead. So I'm going to mix that in a little bit. And I'm going to leave it just like this because I don't really... And if anything, guys, I know that sometimes I get the tendency to get the urge to put too much of a good thing in something. And I don't really need to. Because you have to remember they're not going to produce. So they just need enough to help maintain them over the fall and winter. And you can use a slow release. I know that Kelly Kim mentioned that, but I don't have any slow release. So I'm going to add a little bit more. There we go. That's enough. And let me grab that vermiculite. But I don't have a slow release fertilizer. I ran out. So I need to get more. So I decided to use this. And this stuff is fantastic. It's clean. It's got no chemicals in it. And it'll help keep them nice and fed. Whoops. There's my hand. Okay. And over the fall and winter, so you can mix it in with your hand. And I rinsed this bin out in that bleach water in the sink you saw there then. And of course I gave it a little rinsing so there wasn't any, remaining residue of bleach in there. And there wasn't much bleach in that. That's easily what 10 gallons of, no, I wouldn't say 10 gallons. I'd say about 7 gallons. No, it's less than that. So 4 gallons of water in there, and a teaspoon of bleach per gallon, and there's some soap. So I gave it a washing along with that pitcher, and now what I'm going to do is check to see if that soil around in the pot there is soft enough to manipulate a little bit. And again, be careful if you're going to use a sharp hand spade, because that tip could damage the roots, and you don't want to hurt the roots. Okay, so let's get my spade as soon as I realize. There we go. Got my little spade here. And I got a tiny spade. I should actually get that one. You know what? I think I will. I'll go grab that tiny spade. And I've got it in this dresser drawer here. Now, this dresser drawer I found on the side of the road because I didn't want it to go to waste. And there it is. Look at that. Whoa, this little tiny one. Again, be careful. This one's really sharp. Right there. Well, not too sharp, but still, it could damage the roots. So I'm going to use that because that'll be a lot easier to help loosen up that soil. That large one was just too big. So let's go in here. And let's give this a little bit of manipulation. There we go. Look at that. That's a lot easier. And the idea is what I'm doing is I want to go ahead and take off a little bit of it at least. Let's get my trusty water can because I did get water. That's what I didn't bring over, so let me grab that. Moving along, got these guys hanging out. My water can, there we go. Back over here. Give this another little bit of a watering. And I think we're well on our way, because it's really dense. Poor thing didn't get watered enough. But it did stop producing, so I'm going to loosen it up a little bit. Plus, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that fertilized soil on top of this, and with this already being wet and moist, it'll help get down further into the roots. I think it'll be a lot more easier for it to more easy for it to get down into the roots. So let's loosen it up a little bit more. Give that a little loosening, and then what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get a little lazy here, maybe. I don't know, because I'm getting rather hungry and I need to eat. So let's get this. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll continue to leave these outside, at least up out of the way of the cats, because they love to sit inside the pots. It's comfortable soil and it keeps them warm and toasty in the evenings right now. See, this is still kind of dry along the sides. I can feel it. It's still crumbly. Look at that. Ooh, I gotta be careful. See? And then right here, I think it's some of the roots, they spidered out a little bit. I know they've gone down straight to the bottom because this produced a great deal of habaneros. So they're not too shallow. So let me do that. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this short because, again, I'm limited on my capabilities of filming with my phone. My phone just gave me some strange warning. It's saying, hurry up, I'm about to stop. So what I'll do is in the next video, I will show you this. So we're going to upload this right now, guys. Thank you. And remember, please smash that like button, okay? Use that green thumb. Push it on that like button. Give me some comments. It helps me out tremendously. You have no idea. And happy gardening. So there you go.